backed by billionaire Kirk Kerkorian and shot under the radar. The Promise comes to Toronto International Film Festival.
It's so good to see all of you. I'm so happy about this one. We all did our best to bring this amazing story to life. Terry George, one of the best directors I've ever worked with. And I like active directors, those who roll up their sleeves and get into this with us. And he's one of them. It's amazing. 100 years we've been waiting to see this. And what I'm hoping that this film would do is just bring us to our senses and for us to realize that we cannot be enemies anymore. We cannot afford to be enemies anymore. We need to understand each other, and we need to stop this, because what took place 100 years ago is happening right now as we are speaking.
The amazing thing about it is that the very area where our story is set, which is in the region of Aleppo, and the scenes that we shot are being not reenacted, they're happening every day now. The same refugees fleeing across the same area, the same landscape, fleeing into water. So 100 years on, we've gone back to the same events. So it's great to have an opportunity to try to stimulate audiences around the world to say, look, this is happening again, this has got to stop.
I think it's incredibly important, especially for Armenians, and I think it's important to recognize something as horrendous as Armenian Genocide, that if it doesn't happen, if it's not recognized, it repeats itself. And so this movie, I think, is the most beautiful way to do it.
I play Emre. He's a flamboyant young man, a medicine student, son of head of state security in Turkey, in Constantinople. And a man who likes to party and he's not really into political aspects that are going on at that time. But it sort of has to go to medicine school, and the rest you have to figure out.
I think everybody was a little bit afraid of attacking the subject. But, you know, when we made the film, the objective was not to go so heavy on the subject, but rather to do a love story. And, you know, it's got all kinds of relationships. I mean, just like a David Lean movie would have a relationship.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
And somebody came to talk to me about making this movie. I said, look, the only way that I can see making this movie is to take a page from Dr. Zhivago and think of it that way. And that's basically what we did.
You know, there's a history, a bad history of films about the Armenian Genocide or set during the Armenian Genocide trying to get made and being stopped in the process of production. It happened in the 50s, it happened again in the 70s. So we were well aware of that history. It's well documented, and so the decision was made that we wouldn't engage in social media, that we would basically fly under the radar until we got the film made. Because I want the film to speak for itself, rather than have this pre-debate when people don't know what they're actually talking about. So we've made the film. It's a love story, it's a love triangle. It's an old-fashioned film in some ways, in that it evokes the spirit of David Lean and Dr. Zhivago and Warren Beatty's wonderful Reds, and we've tried to take a moment in history with three characters and have the audience walk through this moment in history with them.
You know, I think it's a really great film, and with a positive, strong message, and we need more of those films these days about every topic, right? There's enough of the fluff, Hollywood fluff, as we all know.
You know, every day to get to work with those two beautiful and talented men is, I mean, I felt like I was going to school every day. And I was very, very intimidated by them in the first place. But then I got to learn and I got to meet them a little bit more. And they're so funny and so professional and so intense and so dense that you get to learn so quickly. It's amazing.